Yo guys, it's Kaizen. I'm here with a different video. I didn't think I was gonna do a video like this so early on my channel, and I didn't think this was gonna happen anyways, but you may have heard the news. If not, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but Akira Toriyama, the author of Dragon Ball and practically the grandfather of shonen anime, he passed away about a week ago, but it was revealed last night. And I just wanted to give some words, like pay my respects, because I'm sure a lot of you can relate, but I don't think I would be who I am today without Dragon Ball. I mean, I probably wouldn't have made this channel at all if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. A big part of my personality, as nerdy as it sounds like, is watching anime and playing games. And I don't think I would watch anime if it wasn't for me discovering Dragon Ball in 2012, I think. I discovered it when I was 10 years old. I started watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, and then from there I went on to watch Dragon Ball Z. I did watch some anime before that, but I wasn't really hooked to it. I was hooked to some anime, but there was no anime that made me feel like I want to discover more of this anime stuff, Like, I did watch Pokemon, I watched Digimon, I watched some other stuff, but I remember when I got hooked to Dragon Ball, it made me search up other animes. Like, I started watching Bleach not too long after that. I started watching a bunch of stuff. And nowadays, like, I think 95% of what I watch is anime, and a majority of those, especially my favorite ones, were either inspired by Dragon Ball or they were inspired by a show that was inspired by Dragon Ball. For example, if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, I believe the author said, was inspired by Bleach, and Bleach was inspired by Dragon Ball. So yeah, and same for One Piece, and same for Naruto. By the way, this is gonna be more of like a little ramble. I didn't plan this. I just found out last night, like at 5 a.m. or something. This is just gonna be like me giving some quick thoughts and paying my respects, and that's all. I don't want to edit this too much. I just want to give my respect, keep this raw. I think when you think of Dragon Ball, you think of shonen as a whole, because without Dragon Ball, I don't know if shonen would be what it is today. And honestly, I don't think I would be who I am today. Not just my interests, but my hobbies, whether it's, watching certain stuff or making videos like this. Like, if you look at my channel, I know my channel's still quite new, but majority of it is Dragon Ball stuff. And a lot of it will continue to be Dragon Ball. And even when it's not Dragon Ball, it's going to be stuff that's connected to Dragon Ball, like One Piece or Jujutsu Kaisen or whatever. And even when we look at stuff outside of anime, when we look at gaming, how many games are there about Dragon Ball that people love? Like, how many people are hyped for Sparking Zero that haven't even been playing, Dragon Ball games recently? But not just Dragon Ball games. Think about all the RPGs you play. I'm not gonna claim to be an OG at this, but if you know the franchise Dragon Quest, he's the character designer for Dragon Quest, and from what I've been told, like, Dragon Quest was like the template, the grandfather of RPG games, and set up RPG games to be what they are today. And I don't know about you, but RPG games are probably my favorite games, like my favorite genre. And his impact is so huge to the point where I really think, even if you aren't a Dragon Ball fan, and I've seen many people come out and say this, that they aren't Dragon Ball fans, but they have to give their respects to him as not just one of the GOATs. Like, the word GOAT is thrown around a lot, but he's the GOAT. For example, a lot of you are probably One Piece fans. One Piece and Dragon Ball have the most special place in my heart. I'd say Dragon Ball has the most special place in my heart, and One Piece for me is just, even though I discovered it way later on, or at least I started watching it way later on, it is really special to me. But Dragon Ball Z was like the original spot in my heart, Like, it made me who I am today. And my point is, even if you aren't a Dragon Ball fan, certain things that you are a fan of have been touched by Dragon Ball in some way, whether it's different animes, different games, even like different media you consume. If you look at some actors who were inspired by Dragon Ball, by Akira Toriyama's work, look at Michael B. Jordan, look at Jackie Chan, so many more. We wouldn't have like the peak fiction that is One Piece. We wouldn't have Naruto. I don't think we'd have Bleach, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Black Clover. I could keep going. The list, when I tell you I can keep going, I mean it. The list is endless. Look at basically shonen as a whole. And by the way, while I'm speaking, I will add some edits to this, I guess. I was scrolling through Twitter last night, and just I was honestly emotional. Like, I'm someone who's not really affected by celebrity deaths. I don't mean that in like a non-compassionate way or whatever, but obviously I pay my respects to celebrities, but I'm not someone who puts celebrity deaths as everything to me. Like I'll get like sad or whatever, but I'll never shed tears for celebrities. But this is something that really has like affected me, because the impact that Dragon Ball had on me, Akira Toriyama's work had on me, I think it. This is a phrase that I think people overuse a lot, and it can be corny, but genuinely, when I think about it, it has affected my life and affected my life forever, and that won't ever change. In fact, for as long as I make videos, I will always have to give Dragon Ball and Akira Toriyama some respect for that, but because it is very much like a big contributor to why I do this. And even if I ever stop making videos, like, it is a big contributor to who I am today. A lot of what I consumed, a lot of the media I consumed growing up was touched by Dragon Ball in some way. In fact, most of the YouTubers that I watched and still watch to this day, whether it's like Rhyme Style or Afro Senju or whatever, a lot of them were initially Dragon Ball YouTubers, and a lot of them still are, to be honest. And even if you look at people who, like actors and YouTubers and whatever, who don't base their content or their work around Dragon Ball and even anything similar to Dragon Ball, a lot of them became who they are today because of Dragon Ball. And when I was scrolling through Twitter, I knew how big Dragon Ball's impact was, but sometimes you don't really realize it until you see people, mourning over it. Like I saw KSI tweet out. I saw a bunch of people come out, to be honest. I know I'm rambling, but, this is just me saying my raw thoughts, like, on the spot. But yeah, guys, I don't want to ramble too much. I just wanted to give my quick respects. I don't even want to use this for views too much. I don't even want to, like, prolong this to get some extra view time. It's nothing like that. I feel like if I didn't say anything, I'd regret it in the future, looking back, knowing that no matter how big my channel gets, I didn't pay respect to the GOAT. So this was just me paying my respects, giving my thoughts. There's a lot more to be said, so much more to be said, so much more I probably want to say, but my mind is kind of blank right now. Honestly, sometimes it's better to say less and just think about it, pay our respects. I know a lot more, in fact, probably 99% of you like Dragon Ball or are interested in Dragon Ball in some way, whether it's the games, the anime, or everything and anything related, the manga. And if you're not, maybe you like something that's connected to Dragon Ball and you just wanted to pay your respects. Like, honestly, whether you discovered Dragon Ball as a kid or whether you discovered it last week, I think it's not hard to recognize how goated it is, how legendary it is, how iconic it is, and how big of an impact it has on pop culture as a whole. And I feel like we all just need to pay our respects, Whether you like him or you don't like him, you have to like what he did for media as a whole, because we wouldn't have a lot of what we're into without him and his work. I do want to say that this has increased my anticipation for Dragon Ball Daima. I'm someone who wasn't really hating on Daima like that, to be honest. Like, it was just a special, not side project, but, a special project for the 40th anniversary. And I feel like they're building up towards the continuation of Dragon Ball Super. And by the way, I know everywhere I go, I see comments like, does this mean the end of Dragon Ball and stuff like that. To be honest, I don't think, like, this is the time to be saying that. I don't mean that in a rude way, but, like, just pay your respect and, we'll find out in the future. But all I'll say is, and I've seen other people say this, it is a business, unfortunately, like, and I'm pretty sure Toriyama has come out and said, like, years ago that he would want Dragon Ball to continue after his death. He's hinted it. He's also hinted at Toyotaru continuing Dragon Ball. But honestly, that's stuff that, that will be discussed in the future. Let's not go on about that. Just maybe keep it in the back of your mind. But, there's a time and a place, guys. Like, in due time we'll know. But for now, just respect to the GOAT. My anticipation for Dragon Ball Daima is increased more because I believe it is his final work. It is quite sad that he didn't get to see it release, but at least he saw the trailer. Maybe he saw some behind the scenes of the first episode or something. And yeah, it will just make it more heartfelt when we watch it. It might not feel the same, but it will be special. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna stop there. Like, I don't want to ramble too much. Honestly, this whole thing was just a ramble sesh. I just wanted to, say what's on my mind. I'm sorry I didn't get to say more. Honestly, my mind is going completely blank right now. I'm waffling, but yeah, guys. I'll see you in the next one. I don't want to ramble too much. Check out my videos. I guess subscribe, but I don't want to use this for subscribers. But check out my other videos. Maybe you'll find them to be a reason to subscribe. And yeah, respect to the GOAT. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.